Ed. And you are?
I am Argo, one of two Eldritch Horrors.
Yeah, I am the second Eldritch Horror.
Actually, you'd probably be the first, considering this was your idea.
That's so fair. This was my idea. Okay, so would you like to introduce our topic for today?
Yes, our topic for today is Portal. And by Portal, I of course mean both Portals, 1 and 2.
Yes, okay. So for some context, I played these, and I actually streamed these. I can't find the VODs now. Yeah, Portal, I played these a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was a fun time. And then we were discussing, well, actually, I wanted to do Portal for one of my other projects. But we were discussing starting a podcast, and I was like, well, why not Portal? Because you had it. Yeah. I bullied you into getting it.
I ended up getting them both for like $2.
Which is really good. Like, I like both the games. I think they're worth the money, but I kind of think Portal 1 is a little bit, is a little iffy because of, usually it's like $10, I think.
Yeah.
And it's something like 2 hours of content.
Right.
Which isn't bad compared to some of the modern day games.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's start with Portal 1.
Alright, Portal 1.
Portal 1, okay. So, Portal 1's a lot of fun. But also, watching you play made me want to bash my skull in.
Yeah, I've heard that similar statement from a couple friends who watched me play Portal 2. And you saw what happened with, you saw the screenshot of what happened with one puzzle that I solved, right?
Yeah, I saw. I like, the puzzles are really good. But honestly, for one, I don't do many puzzle games.
Right. When I'm being watched, I understand I'm being watched.
Oh, that's so valid. I get the same vibe. First of all, the fucking environment. I've talked to you in private about my love for the environmental storytelling, especially in Portal 1, and how good it is. It's really fucking good. I kind of have a tiny, itty-bitty little bit of hatred for the RTX. Not that it's done anything wrong. I mean, the people who designed it did a fantastic job, and it's really fucking pretty, and I'm not bitter that I can't use it because it's too much for my scroungy little laptop.
Uh-huh.
I actually feel like it takes away from the environmental storytelling going on.
Right. From what I could see of it, it looks nice. I do like the original Portal's aesthetic more. It actually feels like you're in a lab in the original.
That's the thing. It looks good. It's objectively really good. Well done. I've told you before, there's something so unsettling about the world of Aperture, especially in the first game. Because in the first game, you don't know what's going on. Like, now we all, in hindsight, know GLaDOS is evil and she wants to murder us all. Yeah. Give in to your fucking demise. With the first Portal game, it wasn't obvious at first. She was, eerie, but in the same way that any robot is eerie. You know what I mean?
Also, like any scientist that's doing a test for it sounds like pretty much how someone would say AI is taking over our jobs would have an AI that took over the job of a test scientist would be.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of that. That's a really good analogy. Thank you, because it's that same almost inhuman way of doing things that's just very eerie. Like, it's supposed to be the correct way, kind of like how AI art is very eerie. and doesn't look quite right, or chatbots are not quite right.
It's close enough that you understand what its job is supposed to be to do, but is off enough that you just don't like it.
Yeah, it hits that uncanny valley that you didn't know could happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like the environment, helps with that uncanny valley, with how fucking spookadoop. Not even spooky, but, like, I've talked to you before, the walls have, like, grime on it from the years that have passed. Everything's stained, everything's kind of gross. It's a thing that you notice, but it's off because you're supposed to be in this testing facility, and usually you think of sterile whites.
Oh yeah, completely.
When you're in a test.
I do like the way the walls do still have that laboratory white to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it, as you said, makes sense. And I do like how the art design, it conditions you to associate white with a surface that you portal.
Yeah.
So when you get to, like, spots where there's not that many white spots, you start thinking, okay, how do I use these white spots to get this done?
Especially, like, when the curtain starts to be pulled back, it's very useful. Like, I feel like the main oh shit moment, the way that you have that oh shit moment, I feel like is the room where the floor kills you. If you know the room I'm talking about.
That's the one where you get the second portal gun, right?
No, it's before then. It's this one room, and in the center, there's like that glowing ball that'll kill you if you hit it, if you walk into it.
Oh.
And you need to get it into this, like...
Oh, is it the one with the first one with the ball that shoots out, and then you have to portal it to a catch mechanism?
Yeah, and then it opens up a little dolly, not dolly, but like, a little carrier that carries you to safety, and it's over this grimy, like, sludge, like, substance that will kill you. But yeah, I really think graphics, the way that it's just subtly weird with very few, like, moments, like, there's the room that'll kill you if you touch it.
Uh-huh.
The floor will kill you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that and the subtle, like, little hints of GLaDOS being evil, but we brush over it now because there was an entire game about GLaDOS being evil and then not being evil and then being evil again.
Yeah.
But the actual game, she isn't that creepy. She's mainly helpful for the most part.
For the most part, and she does have that, like, dark humor that is believable for us scientists that's testing someone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh god, it almost reminds me of the little sign for, I think it's The Killing Joke, with the Arkham employees that go, we're all a little mad here. Where they have a little sign that says that on the reception desk.
Yeah, and then you see the Joker.
It reminds me a little bit of that. So, yeah. Of that dark... There's just certain careers that you start forming very dark humor very quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good segue.
To audio, right?
To audio, yeah. Well, specifically the comedy. Because the comedy, especially in Portal 1, is really fucking good.
Right. A lot of it is actually that whole scientist gallows humor, I believe, or dark humor.
Yeah, the gallows humor, where the scientist doesn't get it, which kind of plays on two levels, because one, it's funny, but two, when you understand that the person you've been talking to is an AI this entire time,
an
it
AI
kind of helps with how inhuman she is.
Right, an AI that's not, like, we view AI as not supposed to have humor, not supposed to feel.
Yeah, but she is really funny. GLaDOS is really, really funny, and that's before you remove her empathy core.
Right. Also, speaking of the audio, I do like how every time I got lost, I associated GLaDOS's voice continuing the voice line as me going in the right direction.
Oh, that is really good game design. I will also mention, while we're on audio, that the music, there's almost no music in Portal 1. This changes in Portal 2. There are more music, I will say, but it's still mostly silent for the most part. It's just you and the sounds of the different machines working around you. It's all the sound effects of portals, of little lasers and bullets and turrets. It's almost always silent until key moments of either like the incineration, the obtaining of the portal gun, the escape. The escape's also the escape when you, and then the fight.
Right.
There might be more moments, but most of these are all key moments that like tell you this is important. Pay attention.
I have gotten the achievement for all the radios. In order to get that, you have to place them in the right area, and as you're going towards the right area to put them for the achievement, the radio starts getting staticky and the design.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the radios. Sorry. Good.
I as a tech person like that it's like, oh, this is where you're supposed to go to fine tune it because that's where it's tuned to provide a message.
Oh, does it play a message?
No, it's just you take it to the place and the light goes from red to green.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, like that's really interesting. I wonder if there's lore implications with that. I'm not getting into that right now because I don't know the answer. But also, yeah, a lot of the music's diegetic for the most part. It's mainly just that little jingle that plays because of the radio.
Yeah, the jingle that traumatized one of my friends who helped me with it the entire time.
I feel bad for your friends.
Well, the thing is, and I understand this isn't completely related to audio, but it is related to this radio. One of the radios, you know the one room where there's like a small platform that is just barely down from the ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
There's a radio on that, so you have to place a portal just off from where it's at, and then go down and try to quickly grab it. The issue I've had is my hand naturally shakes.
Oh, yeah,
So,
I get that.
so me trying to keep it on target and then go to the portal and quickly hit E has angered that person because I would last minute have my hand shake and just go off to the left or right, just minorly. The diegetic music, I do love it when games like the music changes depending on the situation.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good thing, and it like makes the moments hit even harder with the key moments of all this, you know?
Yeah, like one of the games I've played, one of the recent games I've played that does it perfectly, in my opinion, is the first of the Bethesda / id Doom games. Because it's like when the demons first appear, the music ramps up, and it's like you get this adrenaline rush, like, oh, there's enemies here. You associate that ramp up of music with a fight, and when you've killed the last demon, it just calms down to tell you.
That's really good.
To tell you you're safe. So you associate that ramp down with, okay, I'm safe. I can calm down.
Yeah, music, it's interesting because there have been actual studies about the biological effects music has on us. And people who do activities with high pounding, loud in your ears music can have higher levels of stress.
Right.
And that's used often by game developers to make the intense moments even more intense. But like it can be used However, to like almost do the reverse, where you could do calming music during intense situations, and it helps keep you calm. Right. It's very interesting stuff.
I think it all depends on what they want you to feel. Because if you play these games with the music off, the same situation does not hit the same, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I will say it does also help with how eerie Aperture Science is in general. Mm-hmm. Because the entire place it's silent. Nobody's there.
It's silent.
Nobody's around. Nobody could hear your scream.
It's silent except for the one radio that's in like every testing chamber.
It's in every single one? Holy shit.
Yeah, I believe there's like 20. No, I can't see how much is in there right now for the achievement, but it's like just about one for every level.
Damn. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like that is eerie. The fact that your only company is a radio and an AI.
Yeah, and the radio, like you said, with your... Wait, there's one in every level? Some of the radios are in places where you won't hear it until you're close enough to it that you hear it. So unless you're looking for it, it's going to be a quiet room.
I will say, the radio is always a welcome surprise when you're in a room.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I'm suffering, I'm dying, these stupid fucking puzzles are so dumb.
But at least I
have a radio.
Yep.
I think that also helps with how everybody kind of pack bonds with their companion cube for the most part.
Yeah.
Because it's lonely in Aperture Labs. Like, there's nobody there.
I think Portal's actually a game that if you want the full experience, you have to play it without anyone in a voice call. Because I felt nothing for that companion cube. I was willing to sacrifice it immediately.
You're cruel. But yeah, I do agree with that. Like, the silence and the quiet, it gets to you. I think that's why everybody loves the companion cube.
Right.
I managed to save my companion cube in Portal 2 before she killed it.
Yeah.
Anyways. So let's talk about the story a bit. I mean, the story's not that complicated.
Yeah, the story's not that complicated. It's do test lab at behest of AI until you realize this AI is trying to kill me, then try to kill AI.
I will say, it's getting a little bit back into the environment.
Uh-huh.
There are storytelling moments that are really good, but it's all conveyed through the environment with the little secret rooms.
Yeah, and also with like audio, some of the jokes that GLaDOS says, like when you go through the
Oh yeah, as we have said before, we will not lie to you again. Just for your information, when the testing is over, you will be missed.
And then there's the whole end of level thing that gets rid of all your portals. The first time you go through it, GLaDOS says, "Oh, you might experience loss of teeth and yada yada yada." I believe they call it. They also call it like an emancipation field.
The emancipation grill.
Yeah, like it's emancipating a biological entity, aka your teeth, from your body.
Yeah, a lot of her stuff is just eerie. Like, it isn't bad, it's just kind of off. It's a little strange. Another one, I think, that was really good is something like, what is it called? Oh yeah, when the test is over, you will be baked and there will be cake. Neither of those two sentences are false.
Yeah.
There is cake, and you were baked. You just escaped.
Right, and then I like that the end sequence does show there is a cake.
There is a cake! The cake isn't a lie! It's real!
But you having the cake is a lie.
That's fair. Who's the cake for? Nobody's there. Everybody's dead.
Also, in that entire room, all you see is what? The AI core, like spare AI cores?
Yeah.
And last I checked, AI can't really devour anything.
That's what I'm saying. Who the hell is this cake for?
Okay, so
I should cook cake tomorrow. I'm going to go to the store and buy some cake. The escape. Let's talk about the escape.
alright.
So again, environmental storytelling. You get like this intense music when you're going to escape, and all of that griminess and grossness and like offness is turned up to 11 when you finally escape, and you just see the underbelly of the Institute.
Uh-huh.
And it's just nothing. It's nobody's there. The place has been abandoned. There's like rust on the metal. Things are falling apart. Like you try and walk up a set of stairs and it just falls apart.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it shows like under all this fancy lab stuff where nothing appears to be wrong, there is something wrong.
Yeah, all that eeriness, there was an actual reason for it. And yeah, it just leaves you the question of, who the fuck is here? Who the fuck is running this place? Nobody's here. I will say, this is both a criticism and a, benefit. The escape's really fucking confusing. And it is so long.
How's it confusing?
Sometimes you don't know where the fuck, like, it partly, like, you know, what you were talking about, I just followed GLaDOS' voice, and that was how I knew something, like, that helped, but sometimes I was sitting there going, okay, how the fuck am I supposed to, I'm supposed to get there, but I'm here, or where am I supposed to go? Question mark?
Oh yeah, I can understand that. There was times, and you witnessed it as well, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get proper video footage of it since I've gone through it like twice, of me looking at a place, knowing a solution, but not able to figure it out because it's like so convoluted.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, like, I mean, it conditions you in such a way that oftentimes your brain goes to a harder solution before it gets to the easier one.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk about this more when it comes to Portal 2, especially the end sequence, because I know you're discussing the playtesters with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's difficult to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do when suddenly you've been taken out of the environment you were conditioned to be in. Which is probably the point. Like I say, it's one part criticism, one part benefit. The fact that the escape is so bloody confusing is a good thing overall. You know?
Yeah. Portal 1 is simple. I enjoyed it. I liked how, like, I had to start thinking with how this interacted with my portal gun, like what the best way is to interact.
Speedy thing goes in, speedy thing goes out.
Yeah, but it's also like, how close to perfect can I get this shot for it to actually work right?
Yeah. Okay. That fight.
So we're talking about the fight.
Okay, the fight is so fucking annoying. Like, okay, we have had asked multiple of our friends about this and have gotten mixed results. So I'm going to call it a criticism if there are so much division between this. The fight is so fucking annoying. Right? But the fight is so fucking annoying. It's so stupid. Because, okay, you have this turret, you're running around with the turret, you're trying not to get hit. That's fine. That's whatever. The problem is, you're in a circular room, And GLaDOS doesn't hold fucking still. So most people think, oh, you should do it on the walls. That's what I did. That's what I've done for years. When I replayed it, I did it. The footage is probably not going to have that because I gathered the footage after this talk. And so, but most people use the walls to try and hit GLaDOS, which means it takes forever, and it's a bitch to try and fucking get her hit. But there's an easier solution. It's the circle underneath her. You just portal under her. But why do you not think of that? Because of that conditioning we've been talking about. We don't think of that because the fucking thing is the gray color, the bad gray. No gray. We don't like gray. So you have to angle it correctly. So it doesn't work. So the correct solution is you put it under her, next to a thing that you're not supposed to portal, and you can't portal. So most people just think, oh, let's go to the walls. It's so annoying because it's not like everything else is really well designed and it works well. It's fine, you know. You have the cores and you have the rocket and you have the incinerator. You know, those work well. They're fine.
And you have the
this
timer.
Doesn't work. Shut up. I don't like the timer. I've died to that timer too many times.
I'll be honest, and I know, like, you kind of really don't like how it conditions you to walls, and then you found out about the floor. But what I don't like about the timer is about halfway through it, I was like stressing out, thinking, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this. What am I not thinking about? And I thought to myself, you know what? It'd be easier if I could just hit her from below. And so, despite it being gray, I still shot below, and the portal opened. And I'm like, okay, so I can do that.
But that was a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I was also
you
like...
You should not be relying on a Hail Mary for the game you're playing. And I feel like they knew that, given what happened with the second game. Because the solution is much simpler, I feel like.
Yeah, the solution is much simpler.
I wouldn't even say it's simpler. It's just better designed. Right, so it's more intuitive. Intuitive, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and the fact that the first game, or the second game, the first... I kind of want to bring this up here. We can talk more about it when we get to that. But the fact that the first thing the boss in the second game does is shield below. Kind of, it's like if you played that first, you'd be wondering, okay, why would he shield below him when there's nothing portable?
This feels like an insult to me personally.
I do not mean it to be that way.
No, that really is insulting me.
Right, but did you notice that?
I haven't. Yeah, I remember the fight. Yeah, that. I remember that now. Yeah. I'm mad about that now.
I have a story about the second game's boss fight that I'll get to when we get to there. But yeah, GLaDOS for the most part is a well thought out, well balanced fight if you know what you're doing.
She's also a well balanced character. Like the second game really like establishes her meanie, bitchy personality.
Yeah.
But in the first game, she's very balanced. She, is very simple. Not simple, but like she has like two modes. She has murderous mode and helpful scientist lady. That's also a little bit murderous on the side as a treat.
She has deadly neurotoxin mode and hi, I know you think this is this is deadly, but this is actually just a test.
Well, she's completely honest with you. There will be cake and you will be baked.
Exactly.
It's that perfectly honest, truthful, terrifying, following orders mode.
Yeah.
And it's very well balanced. I like it. I think with that, let's talk about Portal 2.
Yeah, let's talk about Portal 2.
The environment has had a massive upgrade.
Oh yeah, I was told this by two of our friends. Portal 2 takes place during Half-Life 2, or in the same world as Half-Life, and
it does take in the same world as Half-Life.
Yeah, so that's about. So Portal 2 is like after an apocalypse.
Yes. Portal 1 might also be during the apocalypse. I'm not sure.
But it's more obvious in Portal 2.
Yeah, it's very obvious in Portal 2. There's it's never something that's brought up in Portal itself, but the entire facility has been destroyed. You hear, the first thing that happens is you wake up and are told, oh yeah, all those people in cryosleep are dead.
Yeah, it's like, the first thing you hear is, it's been 50 days since you were last awake. This is to make sure you're still alive, still functioning. And then the next thing is, it's been 9,999 days.
I didn't do that, so it just goes 9,9,9,9,9,9,9. Yeah, before it cuts off.
It's like, has it only been 9 days? And it's just looping? Or has it really been so many days that all it can say is 9 counting each digit?
It's insane. But, yeah, not only that, the grime is back, but worse than ever. There's so many. The plants have started to overgrow things. Everything's falling apart. The facade that was Aperture Laboratories has fallen. It can't be repaired. Even when GLaDOS goes, oh yeah, I fixed everything.
No.
You're seeing everything fall apart.
Yeah.
He's just pasting more duct tape onto it.
Yeah, and you even see how broken and falling apart it is when Wheatley moves the room, and and also during one of or a couple of the sequences where you actually have to shoot across a gap to get to it, and that gap is just crumbled.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's very good. The environmental storytelling from before Wheatley's betrayal to even the weird aesthetic of the hidden lab.
Oh, you mean Old Aperture?
Old Aperture, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this: Old Aperture is great, and
it is. Cave Johnson.
Cave Johnson, and what is it? Caroline. But yeah, aesthetics-wise, the mechanics are laid out very well in visual. Yes. Once again, it is white, you can portal the surface, orange portal, blue portal, and then the slime balls, which blue is bouncy, and oranges go zoom.
Zoom. But yeah, the visuals are top notch as always. Are there hidden rooms in the second game? I don't think so.
There is.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where?
One of them is in a room where there's a turret in a vent, and so.
Oh, the turret vent! That motherfucker shot me.
Yeah, if you destroy that turret, you can go into the vent, and you'll see singing turrets there, and it's also a hidden room there.
Oh, and that's a hint turret. Okay, I will say, I kind of love how it's much more story-focused the second time.
Right.
There's still puzzles. There are... Oh boy, the puzzles. The puzzles hurt my brain. Portal 1 didn't have too many that I couldn't get through. I remember my first time, I spent 20 minutes on or longer on some of these puzzles.
For me, it's the moment it starts giving you the slime balls is when it starts getting more difficult. Because
I was told by your friends, let me pull up the message. I was told by your buddy that you had problems with basically everything.
I didn't have problems with them so much as, for some odd reason, when I'm being watched, my brain
Here
loses.
We go. We have found a few key weaknesses, including, but not limited to, lasers, turrets, light bridges, portals, and water. So everything? Exactly.
My my brain works on 50% efficiency when being watched. And I was being watched by two people that know like everything about Portal, has played Portal for probably more times than anyone has any right to.
That's fair.
And was judging me the entire time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fucking... The puzzles have ramped up in difficulty. Ow, my head hurts.
Right.
But they're still a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll say the ones that really challenged me were when you had to figure out how to I say efficiently, but pretty much there's only one way to handle it. Use both the slimes, you know? Because sometimes you think it'll work, and then it's like, nope.
Nope. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. I mean, the comedy's still incredibly dark. Fucking, it's even worse now with GLaDOS insulting the shit out of you all of the time.
Yeah.
But I feel Wheatley being the embodiment of stupidity, it's so great.
He's not just the embodiment of stupidity. He is an AI core designed to be so stupid and feed GLaDOS stupid ideas that it dumbs GLaDOS down. That's how stupid Wheatley is supposed to be.
You don't understand. He's not just a regular idiot. He is the greatest minds working together to make the most dumbest person ever. And you just put him in charge of the facility. Great job, by the way.
I will say, Wheatley has one of the most accurate statements that apply to me. It's like, there's this one testing room where it's at the time where he's not getting enough dopamine.
Uh-huh.
And you solve the puzzle, and he goes, I think what it is you are just using all the wrong ways to solve the puzzle, or to succeed at the puzzle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure sometimes I'm guilty of that in those rooms.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Wheatley is so much fun because you kind of can tell he's an idiot, but you're like, oh, he's a lovable idiot. And then the motherfucker betrays you.
And then GLaDOS tells you, oh no, he's not a lovable idiot. He's just an idiot.
But he's still a lovable idiot. Don't bully Wheatley.
I mean, true.
He's adorable. And now he's skyrocketing through space.
Yeah, he might not have been designed to be a lovable idiot, but that's an unhappy side.
But he is. He is
that's a happy accident.
Happy accident. But yeah, let me focus a little bit on the story. The story is really good about what I'm on Wheatley and how lovable he is.
Right.
Wheatley is the story is so fucking good because so much of it isn't, how should I say? The story doesn't treat you like an idiot.
Right.
Like the entire, like there are exposition, but not really much.
It doesn't do the whole, this is what happened last time.
Last time on Portal.
Yeah, it rightfully assumes for the most part that you've played it before. Actually, I'll say this. Up until GLaDOS gets rebooted, you could tell me this is a different character, and I'd have believed you. But the fact that GLaDOS remembers you.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, it was at that moment that I realized, oh, this is the same character.
Like, they had those portraits that did well to explain what the fuck was going on, for the most part.
Uh-huh.
And then you get Wheatley running around being like, let's try and find an escape pod. And you're like, yeah, let's escape Aperture Laboratories, because that went so well last time.
I mean, to be fair, it did.
No, we got dragged back.
Yeah,
and now we have a homicidal robot who wants us dead.
Oh, yeah.
But you were like, yeah, let's escape. And so we go and we try and find an escape pod, and we accidentally turn GLaDOS on, because the idiot turned her on. Whoops.
I forget the whole speech, but it's like, could a moron do this? The entire time I'm thinking, yes, anyone could do this. You don't even have to be a moron.
Yeah, so he fucking turns GLaDOS on and confirms, oh, it's you. And she just spends the next 20 or so chambers insulting you.
Actually, I don't believe it's the next 20 chambers, because I think immediately after that you fall down a tube.
No, that's a different part.
That's a different part?
Yeah, so right, you try to escape.
Uh-huh.
He turns GLaDOS on, remember?
Yeah.
And then GLaDOS goes, we're gonna have a lot of fun testing. And yeah, remember? Okay,
right.
and then
there's a few chambers where she's the one testing, and then
there's like 20 chambers where she's the one testing.
20? I forgot how many chambers
there
are in
are
that.
So many chambers in this.
I must have blocked out how many were in there, honestly.
PTSD flashbacks.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there were so many fucking chest chambers. Then you finally get back with Wheatley, and you start fucking with things. You fuck with the turrets, and with the neurotoxin.
The deadly neurotoxin.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite sequences happens, where there's no other way to go. So you go into this like room, and there's just a door that says GLaDOS emergency turn off. Or like GLaDOS emergency override, and there's a door that says that. You go, and the door just falls flat on the ground because it's made out of cardboard. And she's like, "Oh, I thought you would have escaped this, but I've prepared a much more complex trap further ahead for when you inevitably evade this one. But that won't be necessary now."
Wow!
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It also cements the whole personality she's had since the first game of "I am better than you."
Yeah. So they take this person who is who is this egotistical ass. And then they kill her, kinda.
Yeah.
You replace her with Wheatley, and then Wheatley punches you into this pit.
If memory serves, it's just like a very long pipe to the old aperture.
Oh, it's just one long fall.
Also, the fall apparently is the exact amount of time it would take to fall that distance in real life.
Holy fuck, that's impressive.
Yeah. So,
that's actually impressive.
Speaking of impressive, it's as impressive to me as them actually taking the time to accurately portray how long it would take a portal to reach the moon.
Oh, that too. Let's get into that when we get into the fight, but for now, you know what the most ballsy move they did was? The most ballsy move they did was have this bitch who tried to kill you twice and has been insulting you and calling you fat this entire game. Literally have you team up with her.
Once you get to the point where the announcer's saying, "Oh, there's a reactor core meltdown happening," and Wheatley denying it, you understand GLaDOS knows the facility, knows how to handle everything. And that's what she's more concerned about.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you spent all this time within Old Aperture listening to this blubbering moron and his assistant, and then you find GLaDOS and a potato being attacked by birds.
And then soon after that, it's like, okay, so this is Aperture. Then you go in and you hear Caveman Johnson.
Johnson.
Oh, no, is it Caveman or is it Cave Johnson?
It's Cave.
Oh, right. Oh, speaking of, like, Old Aperture and the change to it, I like how between arcs, the Aperture logo changes.
Oh, yeah, and the waiting room, I think.
You mean the title card?
No, there's a room, and you go in, and there's a waiting room. There's like this little lobby area you go through multiple times. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I do know the title, the main menu changes, because I don't know if it changes because of where you're at, or just changes depending on...
it depends on where in the store you're at.
Alright, yeah, so that's what I thought. It's an evolving title screen that, like, you look at it and
yeah, that's really cool.
like I said, I like how you can tell what arc you're on by booting up the game. By booting up the game and by the loading screens, because at first it's just the original Portal Aperture Laboratories. Then it's like an older Aperture Laboratory logo that they might have. And then in Act 3, it's not Aperture, it is Wheatley Laboratories.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh my god. Exists, bitch.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But, yeah, old Aperture really does look like it was a testing ground made back in the 60s. Because that's what it was.
Oh, yeah. And I like how it just slowly declines over the years.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. It's so fucking cool.
And you get...
yeah.
You get insight into what other things they were testing, like apparently pooping coal and turning people into mantis hybrids that change to, okay, I know you people were excited to be spliced with mantis DNA. Your testing has now changed. You are now going to be given guns and tested on how well you fight mantis people.
Oh god, yeah. Oh no.
My brain's like, there's a story behind that.
There is a story behind that. Oh my god. Yeah, and then you finally you defeat Wheatley and you shoot a portal into the fucking moon?
Yeah, that's... And then it locks you in so you see that magnificent thing.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so fucking beautiful.
Audio?
Audio, yes. The silence is gone. It's not always, there is still some silence, but for the most part there is songs. The songs, however, are like very mechanical, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. It actually sounds like you're in a facility where they're working on stuff.
Yeah.
And I can understand it not being as sterile this time around, because you are going through the facility.
Yeah, and the facility has fallen apart. Of course, you'd be hearing things from other areas echoing throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it. It's very fun. Do we want to talk about the ending?
The ending, the end boss. Yeah, we can...
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that Wheatley's first thing he does is get rid of any portal-able surface and defends the bottom of himself. And I'm just...
That's an insult to me, personally.
And I get to that point, and I see that there's a pipeline for the portal surface stuff, and I'm like, okay, I guarantee you something's going to happen that's going to break that. And it does. But,
what breaks it again?
Something Wheatley does, or like just or just the place falling apart. But
yeah.
I do have my gripes about this.
Okay.
Boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way the boss fight goes, as anyone who has seen or played Portal 2 would know, is first you gotta portal the bombs he throws over the shield, then GLaDOS sends in a AI core to hinder him, and then you kind of do some of the same where you have to portal it to the opposite end, and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
My gripe is that the first two AI cores are in the same area, and the last AI core is not.
Do you think it should have either been all three in a different area, or
it should have it should have been all three separate, or all three in the same area, not like two in roughly the same area, and then the third on the opposite end.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because what ruined my first run is that I had gotten it to Wheatley the nanosecond the timer went to 0.
I will say that is valid. I think, though, a lot of the criticism is overshadowed by the coolness factor.
Oh yeah, especially the space core.
Space!
Oh, you know what's absolutely fun about the space core?
What?
This is kind of not related to Portal 2, but when Steam had the workshop for like Skyrim, they put up a mod called Space Core Volume 1, I believe. And that just has the Space Core crash down into Tamriel, and you can take the Space Core and make it into a helmet, or you can send it right back to space.
Oh, that's so funny. I love that. More than I should.
And when he comes crashing down, you just hear, space!
Yes. This is what I needed.
And anytime you look at him, he goes, space, 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 send me to space, and some other stuff. Oh, it is just so funny.
That ending.
With the
moon.
Yeah, with the moon.
Holy fuck, is that cool?
Oh yeah, it is. And like I said, it taking the same amount of time as it would in real life.
Oh, that's such a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but if you notice, they lock you in once you shoot the portal. Or
I do think that the lock-in is correct, but I do like how it's, one, scientifically accurate, but two, it's really good for timing, you know?
Right.
Because you have that quick, wait a minute moment.
Also,
if it actually worked.
Yeah. Also, the reason it locks you in is because during playtesting, people would shoot at the moon, see nothing happen, and then just try a different solution.
Yeah. I will say, I really like how they managed to make a happy ending while still, as happy as a post-apocalypse can be.
Right.
While still staying in character for GLaDOS. Because GLaDOS literally fucking goes, you are too much trouble in your worth. Go cause destruction somewhere else, like the homeless gremlin you are.
Right. And then, so speaking of things that I liked about, like how they handled some things, you know the imploding tank of deadly neurotoxin? You notice there's a poster that says, keep an eye on the deadly neurotoxin implosion.
There's I didn't know about that, but there was a sign outside of GLaDOS's chambers. Talking about wearing proper precautions when entering. Like, in case she has neurotox, like having proper respiratory covers.
Right, that also hits home that they have had problems with her before.
Yeah, there's just so many little details, like the potato being Chels. The crazy potato.
Yeah.
Or the dozens of weird ads in Aperture.
Right. Also, like, old Aperture, when you get to the blue gel, it's explained that stuff used to be like a substitute for pudding.
What the fuck?
Yeah, a non-toxic substitute for pudding. But stuff went wrong, and they are now testing different applications for it. I'm thinking the stuff that went wrong was food bouncing around in the stomach.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's bad. So, right. Yeah, it's really good. It's really fucking good. Yeah, I like how Chell gets a happy ending in the end while not sacrificing GLaDOS's character. Oh, yeah, and deleting fucking, what's her name?
Caroline, I believe?
Carolyn.
Yeah, Carolyn.
She deleted Carolyn. Holy shit. Like, that all was really cool.
Yeah, like, Cave Johnson says, how he wants his mind uploaded, and if that doesn't work, to upload Carolyn's mind, and I don't think he specifies it has to be consensual or not.
Oh, actually, there was a deleted thing of, that was deemed, like, too much of what happened. And no, it wasn't.
Right.
But no, Carolyn, there was a cut audio line of Carolyn screaming and then saying that she didn't want to be uploaded.
Right, so it was against her.
Yeah, it was. It fucked up. So I mean, Carolyn dying is technically a happy ending for her. Everybody gets a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yay!
Except Tsundere GLaDOS.
Well, GLaDOS also gets Tsundere. Okay, more like psychopathic, but okay.
No.
But I mean, GLaDOS gets a happy ending by deleting the getting rid of the fucking idiot core and having robots to run tests forever.
Yeah. And the Space Corps gets to be in space. I think the only one that doesn't really get a happy ending is Wheatley.
Yeah, unfortunate. But whatever, he almost killed us all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
last thing, the songs.
Yeah, the ending songs. Now, the reason I said Tsundere GLaDOS is if you listen to the song, it really, really reads like that.
Listen. No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah?
It reads as one final insult as she has you finally fucked off.
Do you know?
And no longer an issue.
Do you know how many times she says, like, I don't need you, after saying a lot of stuff, pretty much, in that?
Yes, I am well aware. But that doesn't read as tsundere. That reads as somebody who has watched this murderous psychopath kill her, kill her replacement, and just doesn't want to die again. Just is done trying to deal with this brain-damaged psychopath.
Right. Although, I'll say I prefer the first one.
I like the second one more.
Why does everyone like the second one more? I like the first.
The vibes are better. The it's more upbeat. It's fun.
I'll say both of them are good. The main reason I like this first one more is because it feels like a kind of like a Doctor Doom that's only a Doombot situation.
Yeah, that's fair. Like the first one definitely is a villain song. I think the second one is liked more because it's more of a happy song.
Right.
Where it explains how everybody got a happy ending.
I appreciate a good villain song, and the first one is a good villain song.
So what do you think about the singing robots?
I don't know how I should feel about it. They're nice. Fair. They're nice, but at the same time, I got to that point, and I'm like, excuse me? And then I look in the background, and there's a giant version of them.
It's not an ending until the big robot sings.
Yeah, but that's. I'm just glad that big robot never made it into any of the testing chambers.
Me too.
Speaking of testing chambers, remember GLaDOS lying about the number of testing chambers that were available? When Wheatley runs out of testing and is starting to look for stuff that might be stockpiled.
Uh-huh.
And GLaDOS is like, I didn't stockpile any test chambers. He's out of luck. And then Wheatley goes, oh, I found 1,000 test chambers.
GLaDOS, you lying liar. I mean, that's not a surprise, but still, that's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, it also has an explanation for the multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Yeah, Yeah, which I cannot say anything about because I have not played the multiplayer.
I have not either. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's good. We can...
Well, it's a fun game. It's a fun game.
It's a fun game. I really recommend it to
Buy it if it's on sale.
Buy if it's on sale, and for a price you think it's worth.